Hear a siren? Get me my disciples. I'm Melton, son of Carpenter Mary. Daddy Carpenter worked on skyscrapers. Mom Mary Ann, son of Carpenter Mary, get to do a little genetic carpentry there. Used to be all dark brown. Slowly but surely, turning my eyes blue, doing a little genetic carpentry. And yes, this is, despite a whole lot of very obvious high-tech toys yesterday, this is the Mormon, AT&T, Chinese, Muslim watch call list. You call them up 24/7. Oh, you think you're calling up a nice person? Well, you're educating them about their high-tech lifelines. And nice folks are part of mean things all the time. That means you can get the truth out of them about what their brothers, their sisters, their family are doing. 911 Flight 93, check-in post N5. Got the time on your phone? Excuse me. You got the date in that video? Not one Flight 93 checking over a decade of asking. Make that video, tell everyone else to make the video with all AT&T employees in particular on speakerphone. Tell them you can alter phone records all you want. We've got your bloody handed phone gate on video, the time and the date and the video, my number dial. Whatever boring thing you get, phone ringing, error message, busy signal, not going to be boring. If you need the firemen, police, paramedics, it's money out of your pocket every day. So tell them you're getting their bloody handed phone gate on video. Post. And yeah, do some intel. You call them enough. You park noisemakers outside their home like they have with mine. They'll tell you what they're involved in. Promise. What's the best reason for the Mormon, Muslim, AT&T, and Chinese watch call list? You remember Mormon and Muslim missionary efforts with 9/11, don't you? Oh, Mormons have a lot of Muslim brothers on college campuses in Utah because of shared values, hatred of America being the top of the list. But yeah, I designed this image because I've witnessed it 24/7, as I've asked for a 9/11 Flight 93 check for over a decade and have not gotten one yet. For those Mormon, Muslim, AT&T, Chinese watch call list numbers, call them 24/7. You try to call me in front of them. What's the best reason to do that? You can't reach me by phone, mail, or internet, and you don't know what the hell they're planning next. Keep an eye on them. Let them know you're keeping an eye on them too. See a vapor trail. Be on the side of those driving the tanks, the jeeps, the jets, the side of children and truth. Make that video of your hijack call to me. 424-229-4140. You got the time on your phone, you got the date in your video. You got AT&T's bloody hands. You got phone gate. Let's see if I can find it real quick, my latest image. Remember to honk when you see those Mormon cult perverts casing your neighborhoods or someone else in your city's neighborhood, when the only ones home are your kids after school. Be on the side of those driving the tanks, the jeeps, the jets, the side of the children and truth. And honk at them. Let them know somebody's watching. And yes, call up all Mormons. Put them on speakerphone. You try to call me, 424-229-4140. Tell them their cult is taking a very active part in America's hijacked lifelines, and you'd like to know why they're doing that, and you'd like them to write you, your city, and America off their cult sales route. And to post whatever they tell you about their cult when they're a little angry that they didn't mean to tell you as you were checking your family's lifeline with them on speakerphone. MELTON stigmatized, slowly but surely, doing a little genetic carpentry. Ooh, a little red. As the son of a carpenter Mary, Daddy Carpenter worked on skyscrapers. Mom Mary, yeah. I'm the son of a carpenter Mary, I get to tell parables. Also do a little genetic carpentry, as you can see. Check it out, a whole lot of those sites. And this one doesn't have it. Outer brown circle, smaller eyes. Slowly but surely disappearing. Bigger blue circles growing in through and around. DAFFODILIA. Find 29,000 plus graphic art photos. Print them out. And me and gold will keep you company on that desk. On that nightstand. On that tabletop. AT&T's bloody hatred tell America to make a video of your hijack call to me. Not one Flight 93 check in a decade of asking, no certified mail, no non-certified mail, no FedEx, no UPS. Be a part of the Military Pitbull Project, Chinese, source of all evil, and the Mormon cult, the Muslim cult, and AT&T. Threatening America's security and the security of your family. Call them up 24/7. You park noisemakers outside of their homes, and they will tell you what else they're getting their hands bloody with aside from hijacking your child's lifeline, then altering phone records to cover it up. Every single one of these employees that park this fleet of noisemakers here, they are requesting that you park a fleet of noisemakers outside of every AT&T employee's home. Noise and calls 24/7 will tell you what else they're doing besides harassing a man in a wheelchair and you. So get them when they just did something off the books for Randall Stevenson that turned their stomachs. They got a pang of conscience. You get them when they just had a fight with a girlfriend, when they're just got home from the bar, they're doing their drugs, and they will tell you what else Randall Stevenson's and each individual AT&T employees hands are bloody with already, and what else they're doing to get them even bloodier. That is compromising the security of our nation and your family. 9/11, Flight 93, check and post M5. Get the truth out of AT&T, the Mormon cult, casing your neighborhood when the only ones home are your kids after school. And those with high-tech toys not allowing my computer to work properly as I'm designing this Mormon cult princess's image. I have to go back to an old program. because the devil Lori, with her gay husband Samuel Lynn Bond in Lake Charles, it's character. And the other traitor Bond brother, Sheriff Bond, with the Department of Water and Power, that you need to ask 24/7, what else are you involved in besides America's hijacked lifelines? Get the truth out of him. Find out. And yeah, I'm having to put a box in because the GIMP program was, with PhotoScape, because the GIMP program was altered literally in front of me here. So yeah, give them tips about little old ladies whose kids have moved out of town and she's got a lot of life insurance and properties, and watch those Mormon cult pervert church princesses go to scam her out of her money. And yeah, it's her home. She can hit that horn underneath her couch and send a message to church princesses across the country, compromising our security with their active part in America's hijacked lifelines. Call them on that. All Utah cops. I think the troopers spend more time in Los Angeles than they do in Utah. You call them up 24/7, you put them on speakerphone, you try to call me. They've got rage problems, I've noticed, the Mormons. So you get them screaming out what else they're doing to compromise the security of our nation. All Utah officials, especially those cops, will justify anything for that Mormon cult and their Muslim cult brothers on American soil in Utah. Yeah, why are the Mormon cult perverts casing neighborhoods when the only ones home are the kids after school? Who knows? Perhaps they're filling Saudi Arabian harems. Simple concept you can document. You call them up, all of Utah, all Mormon cult folks. You try to call me Melton. 424-229-4140. You make that video of their active participation in America's hijacked lifelines, compromising our security. You post. So the Mormons go into case a neighborhood where the only ones home are the kids. And of course they call up AT&T first to let them know that they're going to be there. In case somebody, needs to call emergency services, 911 or something. And of course all the phones are shut down, but Gina, a rape victim, makes a video and says these terrorists from Utah scare the hell out of me. And yeah, they walk up to approach a kid with some candy as he makes that video of your hijack call to me, not going through and not knowing when else that phone won't be allowed to work. Do that. Be part of the Military Pitbull Project. Call them up 24/7, 365. Mormons, Muslims, Chinese, AT&T. What else are you involved in besides this? And with them on speakerphone, you try to call me. 424-229-4140. Remember to honk when you see those Mormon cult perverts casing your neighborhood. Let them know America is watching. The Lord and you are watching. And yes, be a part of the Military Pitbull Project, Mormon, Muslim, AT&T, Chinese, watch, call list. To do that as well. You never know what you might find out. Get them a little mean. Get them a little angry. Park a fleet of noisemakers outside of their home, and they'll tell you what else they're doing to compromise the security of America. Do some intel for America. And yes, get those cults to write America off their cult sales route. Helicopter without a man walking menacingly with a baseball bat on the walkway out there. I'm going to have to take it out. Do that 9/11 Flight 93, check and post about the last helicopter video. I think it's the same helicopter. So that, you know, I can replace I think the man walking menacingly with the baseball bat had to do with those on hand, the Mormons, the Muslim cults, and the Chinese literally setting off a fire alarm. They do that, have over the years. But at least in Hussein's Arabia, where I had to spend 3 long years, because you can't reach me by phone. You don't know when else your phone won't be allowed to work properly, and mine certainly isn't working properly as I'm looking for a better place to live. There, when they set off the fire alarm, I wasn't in a wheelchair on the 3rd floor. I'm in a wheelchair on Gold here on the 4th floor, and they're setting off a fire alarm. Not only setting off a fire alarm, as I'm going to process the monthlies, they have altered. There was no hatred music, rap music playing during it. So they did 2 things. They placed a child dressed in red outside on the walkway. Yes, the same walkway there. Yeah, I'm not going to put someone's kid in my video. And then I made a video of the video, and they altered that, placing the hatred rap music in there. To make that video, your hijack called to me, Mormons, Muslims, Cowardly Hussein placing Muslims active around me constantly. From that Muslim, Mormon, Chinese, and AT&T with their fleet of noisemakers to harass. They bought Spectrum. Form that, the next, I don't have it, I'm going to try to get it with the next printout. Form it, call, left and right. You know about the Mormon cult doing their pervert missionary work when the only one's home are your kids after school. You know about that. And you know about the Muslims' missionary work. Yes, 9/11. And I've been telling you about your hijack lifeline for over a decade without getting one call. That's a lot of AT&T altered phone records. Their bloody hands, and the Chinese constant around me. So make that video, form those watch call lists, call them up, let them know you're keeping an eye on them, and you want to know if they know anything about you not reaching me with a 9/11 Flight 93 checking over a decade, no certified mail, non-certified mail in that decade. Send me something with a GPS and watch them steal it. And then use that GPS to find out where the stolen mail warehouses are. Oh, the devil Lori, personal knife in the back. Sister, she can reach me by phone and yes, by mail as well. Ask her how she does that, in case your family is the target of political, religious, and business censorship. You need to know what that bitch knows, Lori and Brady Bond, to get your phone to work in that emergency. Ask her, what do you know about this? What's your part in America's hijack lifelines? Post. John Melton Braden, I've been asking America to check the lifelines for over a decade without getting one Flight 93 check call. That's the view from Hussein's Arabia, the only place I could live in, because the only place could reach me by damn phone. Saudi Arabian Abdul Latif jetting off to Iran, the rat-infested place, jetting off to Saudi Arabia just before they placed that cowardly Hussein in our White House, right after we got attacked by a whole lot of cowardly Husseins. I always thought it was a bad taste placing that cowardly Hussein. Pick up your phone to see it is more than just bad taste. It is an active invasion on the part of the Mideast. Before you come out here as a tourist, do that tourist Flight 93 check with all of California's officials and cops on speakerphone. Firemen too. You can't meet with them on speakerphone. You better be spending your tourist bucks elsewhere, because you're going to get that Muslim shriek from Michael Moore's LAPD. The phone. Last night when a man in a wheelchair needed the police for a noise complaint, Michael shrieked at me. You ask him, is he a threat with his police force to America's security post? A steward sees those Mormon cult perverts a case in his neighborhood when the only ones home are the kids after school, and he's a kind of a naive fella, and he walks out and says, no, I'm part of this church. You're Mormon cult perverts, aren't you? Case in the neighborhood. He doesn't say that. He says you're Mormon missionaries, and Jim J and Charlie M say, yeah, we are. But we're also, doing this, and they show him a picture, actually a sketch of a little girl, and Stewart says, oh no, she's not missing. She lives down the street, right down there on the left. Her parents aren't home now. And yes, they walk down the street a little bit, the Mormon pervert missionaries, and they call up that Saudi Arabian guy and say, yeah, we got the look you want. Hear the devil Chinese backup sound? That's them backing out of the holding back of the worlds of mankind's progress. So make sure that you call them up 24/7. Mormons, Muslims, AT&T, and Chinese. Help tear down that great wall of evil of theirs, holding back the progress of mankind. Build Jesus' immaculate house with these rebuilding eyes. Steve Austin from the 70s, huh? We can rebuild him. Dad's doing just that. He said he'd get me my blue eyes back. I said I had blue eyes, and Dad said, I'll get you your memory back too, son. Remember to make those videos. Call all. Find out what else they're doing besides what you know they're doing. Being an active part on America's High-Tech Lifelines, all 4 sets of those folks. Call them 24/7, park noisemakers outside their homes, and they will tell you exactly what else they're up to, I promise. Hear AT&T's hatred? Call them on it. 424-229-4140. Make a video of you trying to call me. That's my number. With all AT&T employees on speakerphone, home, office, cell phone, landline. Get them on that day off. They've been smoking some weed. They just come home from the bar. Randall Stevenson, CEO of AT&T, has been overworking them. Get them at that right time, and they will tell you what else Randall Stevenson's bloody hands are doing, other than compromising our security with easily documented censorship that reporters aren't reporting on. So, yeah, do a little intel for America, get them a little angry. Oh, here's an idea they gave me. Park your fleet of noisemakers outside of every AT&T employee's home. Get them a little angry, and you'll find out what else AT&T is doing to compromise our security as a nation and as families and as individuals. Links Excel for youtube.com/DNFD series. I hope to get it up on the OneDrive today and update it, but I did a lot of uploading today, and AT&T's phone gate Bloody Handed phone gate for May 2019. Tommies for all joined minute Tommies for the month. Mormon cult, Muslim cult, Chinese AT&T watch call list, my son of corporate Mary trinket checks, stigmata eyes, growing a new pair of eyes. Have to build Jesus' immaculate house here on earth. Those 1,000 points of light to inspire the future and the present to greatness. Check them out. And remember, download, post, and repost. You can't find them here. Look at your bed, bars, parties, military bases, colleges, campuses, and churches. For flash drives and other ways of getting truth out. Chinese tell, those using high-tech toys have to tell, lots of them, of altering my titles either with spelling or taking stuff out. Get me my disciples and I will show you all kinds of good graphic art, good parable videos that will help the world tear down the great wall of Chinese evil and build Jesus' immaculate house here on earth on top of its rubble. But you got to see me in person. Get me my disciples. And they can retitle when Chinese losers do some bizarre stuff like throwing that off the shelves. You don't understand the concept of little toys, high-tech toys. Pick up your phone. You got the time on your phone, you got the number, the date. Everything I'm telling you is intensely getting to get you to pick up your phone and make that video. Of America's hijacked lifelines, easily documented. AT&T worried enough to alter phone records to cover them up, their crimes. Come see me. Get me my disciples. I'll show you how to change the world with that change. Millennia in the making. Jesus has immaculate house growing with a new pair of eyes. Got some of my latest imagery on the OneDrive here. And yes, I got the Excel there with the link. I don't know if I'll get time to upload you tonight, but yeah, I've updated that today with my YouTube DNFD series. Uploads. Yeah, another call to LAPD. They answered on the first ring. No Muslim shriek, but they still don't know how to get into a building. And yes, references to the Iranian, the Iraqian, the Saudi Arabian princes, and embassies. Yeah, check out that military pitbull project stuff. Image I just redesigned with my eye there. I need to get better eyes. Newer photos, and yeah, be part of the military pitbull project's watch call list. Mormons, Muslims, AT&T, and Chinese, of course, the source of all evil on earth. Here, AT&T backing out of the threat to American security business. Call them on that. Mormons, Muslims, and Chinese as well. But yeah, AT&T has that hatred noise to harass a man in a wheelchair. And that's your family lifeline not working. They've been altering phone records for over a decade to cover that up. So call them up. General says, well, check and post and fight with them on speakerphone. Ask them when else your phone won't be allowed to work. What their part is in that. Call them a no. 24/7, they'll talk. They'll tell you what other treason they're involved in. Do that. Average AT&T's hatred, they're taunting a lot from the street. I'm in the parking lot yelling up, like, we're gonna get you good. Got some gasoline. These folks out here, yes, they've made it very personal. TNT, they've made it incredibly personal with your child too. And every time I hear that comment of hate, mentioning Cheryl Bond a lot with the Department of LA Water and Power, every time I hear that hate, it tells me how many folks are calling up those places, those Mormons, Muslims, AT&T, and Chinese. Cheryl Bond, Lori and Brady Bonds, and the other Trader Bond brother, Samuel Lynn Bond, gay guy. I'm married to the personal knife in the back, Lori. It lets me know. You let them know. You call up 24/7. They're threatening your family in America by their incredibly active part in America's hijacked lifelines. You get them good. Call them 24/7. They'll tell you what else they're getting their hands bloody with. Parking noise makers too. Dun 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 dun. It's the hatred noise, and today's guests in and out, courtesy of the Chinese, the Great Wall of Evil, are a lot of cops threatening a man in a wheelchair. I'll put a bullet in his ass. So you call up LAPD, the county and the state troopers of California 24/7 at home, at work, and you look for where they have their impersonators of me. One wanted to slow it down. That's why I'm assuming they threatened to put a bullet in my ass. Because they like to steal my stuff, pass it off, and make that easy moonlight money as crooked, cowardly California cops. Moors, crooked, cowardly California cops. So call them up 24/7. You find out where they're playing that hatred noise with the cops around, and make very good examples of documenting traitors to the United States hiding behind AT&T and California's cops. Threat to our security as a nation and as families. This is Easter Sunday. Me and Gold alone on Easter Sunday because of the devil Lori, her hatred, personal knife in the back, and a whole lot of impersonators as well. This is my A list. Not necessarily best, but just A for Flight 93 chicks from last month. I'm going to put this up at the front, hopefully. That is the dangerous Mormon Muslim cults. Mormon cult, Muslim cult. Chinese on hand, desperate as anything. Setting off a fire alarm on Easter Sunday to terrorize a man in a wheelchair. Do those military children's burn unit Flight 93 checks with all of Solari Enterprises, and enjoy this collection, and make sure you pick up that phone and make a video of your hijack call to me right now. This is my B list for April 2019 Flight 93 check videos. Oh, also looking for the Muslim Mormon cult watch call list folder and the AT&T, their bloody hands, that folder. This is what they did on Easter Sunday. I'm spending Easter Sunday alone because of a lot of very personal knives in the back and a whole lot of impersonators. They set up a fire alarm, and yes, when I had to spend 3 long years in Hussein's Little Arabia, they did that often there too. Same at the wine cart center. Had to make myself homeless to eat because of California. Ginfengia and Libertana. Oh, look into that's in the back. But this is just a welcome to the B. Not necessarily the second best, but splitting it up so it's about an hour each. Set off that fire alarm on Easter to terrorize a man in a wheelchair. Not only that, placed a child in red, for those of you who are making documentaries, out on the walkway out there, so that as I turn, there's a kid on the walkway, to dissuade me from using the video. And just now as I'm joining, I'm listening to it or watching it, and they put some hate music in there. They literally used high-tech toys to place that in. So yeah, spread the word. Get me my disciples. And I'll show you how to dismantle the Great Wall of Chinese evil brick by brick and what it does worldwide. I promise. Get me those disciples, I'll show you how. Hear AT&T's hatred? Check your family's lifeline. You got the time on your phone, you got the number dialed. You got AT&T's phone gate. If you thought your AT&T phone, your lifeline, worked slowly in an emergency, here's your opportunity to see that's not just your imagination. Not one Flight 93 check call in over a decade of asking America to check their lifelines. Whole lot of imagery, whole lot of videos. Not one. So you make that video and right now, and then you call up all AT&T employees, put my speakerphone, you try to call me and tell them I've got the time on my phone, I got the date, Melton's number dialed, I've got AT&T's bloody hands. Worried enough about those bloody hands to alter phone records to cover up their crimes. But all of America has PhoneGate on video. I'm Melton, and no, I don't have any Lancets. I've got 2 left. And it should be the middle of next week, or it's Saturday, that I get some more. But yeah, I think it's a some Chinese fella somewhere tossing a dart at that dartboard, because I feel the same, whether it's a 95 or well up over 500. The sugar chick, yeah, I'm growing a new pair of eyes, whole new body. There, back through the middle of April. Oh, that's why I need gold. But yeah, if you know what would speed up the process, by all means tell me. You gotta do it personally, because the devil steals your calls. You see this right here, the outer brown circle's gone. The blue here wasn't there when I was growing up. Slowly but surely doing some genetic carpentry as a son of a carpenter. Don't try this at home. My dad himself taught me how to do this. You don't want to end up with one orange eye and one red eye, do you? You are walking among us. Just picked this out earlier from what I'd ordered many times. It flattens out, and I found if you put 2 together, it stays nice and large. And yes, I'm in a lot of pain. So this is personally why the Chinese entire damn race threat to mankind. Can it work? I've double clicked. Why the Chinese are requesting this. You call them up 24/7. Don't forget the Mormon cult, in case your neighborhood when the only one's home are your kids after school, and the Muslims 9/11 stuff. Let me show you what It's a great idea to do, and yes, when I picked that out earlier, just like many I've ordered, shipping is available, but the Chinese devils want to have every Chinese American having their, even if it's with two, eventually it flattens out, like gold's pillow here I'm sitting on. You call up those Chinese devils, look them up in the phone book, get that assembled list, as well as the LDS Latter-day Center directory, Mormon cult stuff, and you call them up 24/7, because that's not a pillow in your hand, that's your child, your family's lifeline. So you find what I see 24/7, the Mormon cult, the Muslim cult, AT&T, and the Chinese requesting that you call them up 24/7 and find out what other danger to America and your family they're a part of. Tell them it's from MELTON. Their phone ringing off the damn hook because their loser Chinese stuff is on site 24/7 doing that stupid shit. With Walmart, your race has made it personal, and I'm putting a spotlight on here, holding back the progress of mankind character. Welcome to a well-earned spotlight. ED's Michael Moore in bed with the perverts of Utah. The Mormon cult perverts, case in your neighborhoods in your part of the world, when the only ones home are your kids after school. Call up all California cops at home, at work, when they're moonlighting, when they're doing their drugs, when they're getting drunk, and you get the truth out of them about your family's hijacked lifelines. This is yet again another shriek from Moore's LAPD. Call them on that 24/7. You get them a little angry, you do some intel for America. Park noisemakers outside of their homes. Call them up 24/7. You get the truth out of Moore's corrupt law enforcement organization. All California. Troopers, county, city. You try to call me with your family's lifeline, and you see their active, cowardly Hussein placing, they're hijacking of your child's lifeline. As you try to call me, and I bet you can guess it's going to be just as newsworthy if you need the firemen, police, paramedics, and your child's lifeline. Your lifeline is not allowed to work properly. So you call all corrupt California cops, to a man, to a woman. You give them an opportunity to be a law enforcement officer for the first time in their lives, or corrupt and cowardly, as we have all witnessed them being. Get some justice for Mary's children in 9/11. When they're in bed with those Mormon cult perverts, they're also in bed with the Muslim cult. You know about their missionary work, don't you? Oh yeah, 9/11. Rebuild what Moore has torn down in LA, and Hussein, that cowardly Hussein, has torn down in our country. Get some truth out there for the world to see. Siren, remind yourselves to get MELTON, his disciples, so he can deal with the devil's people walking among us who are literally stopping the computer, as I want my Mormons, Muslims, Chinese, AT&T personnel watch call list in red, white, and blue. Devil's people are going damn crazy, not letting the computer work. That's affecting your child's lifeline, what they're doing. You try to call me with your child's lifeline right now, 424-229-4140. And you call them what they are, the devil's people. And you call them 24/7 worldwide. You get them screaming out what the devil's people are doing, besides hijacking your call to me. Here, AT&T, their bloody hands. Anything backing up? make sure you ask around, start your own Mormon Muslim AT&T in Chinese watch call list. Oh, from a nurse at LAC USC Cape Medical Chinese 1 to Dignity Health. Their character recently with the insulin poisoning, Misa, the Muslim doc. They have been requesting the Mormon Muslim watch call list image from me. You call them up, find out what else they're doing to compromise the security of America. Call them 24/7. Place noisemakers outside their homes. AT&T employees included. That's their company, Spectrum. Do that. Do some intel for America. Call up all Mormons. Find out what the Saudi Arabian Muslims they have on American soil in Utah, what they're a part of, what they're planning next. Do some intel. Call them 24/7. They're Mormons. Easy to get them screaming, gosh darn and heck, this is what our dangerous Muslim brothers did and are doing. You remember 9/11, don't you? 9/11. Flight 93 checking posts and files with all AT&T employees. 24/7. Find out what else they're planning. Do they have another Saudi Arabian? Do they have another Saudi Arabian? 9/11 through Utah planned? We'd like to know. You seem to be over the top and taunting and harassing a man in a wheelchair, and your families all across America. That's your lifeline, not being allowed to work. As you tried to call me. Just some of these, I hope to get them all in one big video. Screenshots from just May 2019. Make that video, post that video. Whatever you get when you don't get me, I hope to get up on OneDrive on my Links Excel, the SoCam at Live one. Update today, if not tomorrow. Make that video, whatever you get when you don't get me. You get those cowardly, excuse me, Hussein places. How did they place a cowardly Hussein in our White House right after we got attacked by a whole lot of cowardly Husseins? Yeah, your family's lifeline not working. Whatever one thing you get when you try to call me, phone ringing, error message, busy signal. Not going to be boring. If you need the firemen, police, paramedics, it's money out of your pocket every day. Your AT&T livelihood. But that, yes, when you're a politician, that means, yeah, you get that boring thing, you're calling up countless other folks to tell them what to vote for, who to vote for. Yeah, that's how they placed a cowardly Hussein in our White House, Senate subcommittee kind of stuff. Americans for unhijacked lifelines and fairly elected officials in the screenshot there. That's how they did that. Remember, make that video. You got the time, you got the date. In your video, you're trying to call me, Melton, 424-229-4140. Whatever boring thing you get when you don't get me, it's not going to be boring, yes, and it's money out of your pocket, your AT&T livelihood. But the most important thing is your hijacked lifeline. America's compromised security with AT&T next door. Bought Spectrum to harass a man in a wheelchair. Make that video, and yes, send me anything, put it in the mail. If it's got my address on it, it's going to be stolen by those getting their hands bloody hijacking your call to me. I saw it all. I see a terrorist at work from 2010, I think. Those getting their hands bloody hijacking your calls, and that'd be AT&T, yes, and others. Worried enough about their crimes getting caught for them that they're altering phone records to cover that up. You explain to every AT&T employee. You got the time and date on your video. You got your hijack call to me. You've got AT&T's phone key. The reason for, oh, that's the Devil Lori's number, 9776 at the end. The reason for the Mormon, Muslim, AT&T, Chinese, watch call list. Oh, put them all on there. Call them up 24/7. Try to call me. 424-229-4140. Ask them, what else are you involved in? Besides America's hijack lifelines, are you planning another Saudi Arabian 9/11 for us? They will tell you. You call them up often enough, you get them up when they just got high, or they just got drunk, or they just had Randall Stevenson getting his hands even bloodier, having them do something off the books that turned their stomach. They got a pang of guilt over it. You give them at just that right time, they'll tell you. Do that. A lot of those folks aren't getting as much money as Randall Stevenson. So yeah, when you see those Mormon cult perverts casing your neighborhood, when the only ones home are your kids after school, and you know about those Muslim missionary, that Muslim missionary work, don't you? Yes, 9/11. Remember to honk at those Mormon perverts, casing those neighborhoods when the only ones home are the kids after school. I know I got you somewhere. Honk at them. Let them know you're watching. Let all the folks on the Mormon, Muslim, Chinese, AT&T watch call list. Let them all know that America is keeping an eye on them. The Lord and America are keeping an eye on them. Four 424-229-4140. Try to call me. Them on speakerphone. Yeah, my muscles are finally kicking in. We'll have to end the video. I will load def it and have it in tomorrow's. Yeah, Taliban, Osama, from both the patio over to my left and just now talking about the Taliban. In AT&T's parking lot with a whole lot of folks. Find out what else they got planned. They got all those connections right there. 24/7 Parker Fleet and noise makers outside their homes. Find out. Do some intel for America. Prevent that next Saudi Arabian 9/11. 24/7, 365 noise and calls for all of these folks. Making it personal with a man in a wheelchair and you. That's your family's lifeline being hijacked as you try to call me. We've had some very dangerous, I'm told, Osama streets, meaning Chinese bits. That's a mix of stage and streets. Doing some dangerous stuff. On hand. And also hijacking my lifeline. Either that or the LAPD doesn't know what they're doing. They don't know how to get into a building. So we got a nice Osama bits, I'm told. Directly linked, bloodline style. They cut down the trees that a lot of folks have run into, the Osama trees, or at least the Muslim trees, on site here. It's my fun fiction. I get to have a little fun. And they're going to have some fun with these folks threatening America and the world. Semper Fi, hang 'em high. And yes, I see the results of that because I called up the LAPD with constant harassment noise from down below. Once again, dangerous Osama bitch on hand. And they got it on the first ring. Didn't shriek at me, but still don't know how to get into a building. That means the Chinese bitch. If anybody knows what Chinese are about. Semper Fi, hang 'em high. Military pit bull project style. She referenced her embassy just like some Iranians and Iraqians. In and out of this apartment complex lately have. So welcome them to a well-earned hell. Curtis is one and only, son of a carpenter Mary. Swing 'em for me. I'm Melton. This is my graphic art. There's some cloud imagery and May imagery. And here's some highway, skyline imagery. Oh, let me get these in. Some April magically reappeared. In that box I keep all the months in. There's a black hole somewhere in this apartment and things disappear into it and then magically reappear. I'd say someone was coming in and stealing stuff and putting it back. Putting it back means they're Chinese. But I'm only out of the apartment an hour to roll across the street and get some food, so I have no idea. Remember to make those documentaries of anything at all being the devil around me. That includes those hijacking your calls to me, and you don't have to take my word for that. Simply try to call me up right now, 424-229-4140. Not 911 Plate 93, taking over a decade of asking. No certified mail, no non-certified, no FedEx, no UPS. There's the address you want to send me a letter, make a video of it first. And oh yeah, those getting their hands bloody, AT&T, others, hijacking America's lifelines are worried enough about the crimes to alter phone records covered up, so they send me a lifeline in the mail. Send me FedEx, anything with a GPS that can help you locate those bloody hands in their stolen mail warehouse. Because if it's got my address, they're going to steal it. Some 4x6 photos on their way to being laminated. Remember, I'm steadying my hand here with the counter, and the imagery is stationary against this tablet. Proper. So if you see shaking in the video, it's folks desperate and worried about a handsome bald guy and a sharp wheelchair reaching America with a whole lot of graphic art. Remember to post and repost my imagery in my videos. You're at that college party, you're watching the huge joined parables, And just take your phone out, you like one of them, the minute ones. Make a video of it, same as with the imagery, but yeah, the best way to get the imagery is just to put it on your phone and it'll be just as sharp as it was designed. Print it out, pass it along, and yes, post and repost. Come see me in person to be in this imagery. And a part of me. Defining graphic art with your beauty. All of you attractive blonde college girls, try to call that number, make a video of lifeline censorship. Got the time and the date. You got my number dialed. AT&T's worried enough about altering phone records, about hijacking phone records. Ooh, about hijacking calls. Excuse me, I'm a handsome bald guy. I have trouble doing 2 or 3 things at once. I get that on the video. They're hijacking calls, getting their hands bloody. They are altering phone records to get them even more bloody. And come see me in gold in person. Have wit, will travel. Show me the perfect place to build. A Jesus' immaculate house. The best people start building with. In person, the way to get things done. Let me define graphic art with your beauty. Oh girls, I can't promise you you'll look this good with your shirt off, but I can do what I can. Me, my disciples. Living excrement on hand. Take your pick. Chinese, Muslim, Mormon, AT&T. Dishonoring veterans by changing the perverts into perverts. And I have to go in and fix it, so it takes twice as long. That's a Chinese tale and a half of the devil's people, source of all evil for the others. So this is my new. Also had the shaking added a lot lately, meaning the excrement on hand with the Chinese have drugs of choice, and as the Mormons have said often lately, they're seizing. I think it means they're coming out of detox or something. Don't know. All I know is my videos are altered and I need my disciples to do my work properly. Get me, my disciples, and look for a whole lot of pain, more than usual, for those on hand. Can someone get my computer to respond? Thank you. Let's make it a 10-minute video, because Mormon pathetic losers and their Muslim shit counterparts don't want my new slideshow here to come up. Make that video, post that video, and get the man, handsome bald guy, with a whole lot of good imagery of truth about the Mormons and Muslims, AT&T and Chinese. Get me my disciples so I can do a dad's work. Look for the handsome bald guy, sometimes wearing a hat outside for sure. Sunglasses or glasses, and a sleek wheelchair right beside me, or at least right under me. Let's get started building a better world. Get some popcorn. We got a lot of folks been on their way to hell for a long time. Here to be, yeah, something to do about the Cheryl Bond thing, I'm thinking. Get that popcorn. We got some witnesses doing our fun fiction. Hear that hatred noise. Tell everyone. 2911, flight 93, check and post in 5. Well, I think I lost this one. a lot of stuff was disappearing back at the wine guard out of folders. Should have it printed. Let me see if I can find. Yesterday's work with Military Pitbull Project. Watch call list, kicking and screaming the whole time. AT&T, Mormons, Muslims, that's AT&T next door. Been an active part in America's hijacked lifelines. Oh, that's my rebuilding eye. Doing a little genetic carpentry. Been an active part for a long time. Call me right now. Oh, yeah, that's part of it. They've been mentioning embassies a lot lately around here. Cheryl, Bond, and Iran, Iraq, and Saudi Arabia. But yeah, what I'm doing here is looking for stuff to put in. I found something I need to get paged. Paged to print. I don't think I've seen it paged. But this, and that's from a Tommy template, that one Constantine, and this one. I just started gonna find a whole lot of graphic art to put over on where that eye is. Right there. 911 Flight 93, checking post and 5. Best reason in the world for you to be a part of the Military Pitbull Project watch call list with all those 4 sets of folks is your phone not working. And not one Flight 93 check in over a decade of asking. Get it on video, and yes, call up all those folks 24/7, let them know. America is keeping an eye on them. It's like when you see the Mormon cult perverts casing the neighborhood and the only ones home are the kids after school. You honk at them, you go past. You tell them you're watching them as you go past. And yes, you know all about the Muslim missionary efforts with 9/11. Let all of those folks know America is keeping an eye on them. Call them 24/7. You get them a little angry, that's good. They're going to tell you what else they're doing besides hijacking America's lifelines and altering phone records to cover it up. Jeff has just called up Stewart. Stewart is an AT&T employee. And I don't know how Jeff found this out, but he knew the exact time Stewart would be smoking some dope. Stewart always gets very emotional when he's smoking his dope. So he takes advantage of that and he tells them all about Randall Stevenson making that $2.5 million, I believe, paycheck, and wanting more. So he's being very obvious with his phone monopoly company and his hijacking lifelines for political, religious, and business censorship. And he works on Stewart in that way, and he tells him what else Randall's doing to get his hands even bloodier, aside from hijacking your call to me and altering phone records covered up. Make a video of AT&T's threat to your child. That's it right there. It's a closed parking lot, and that's the character of AT&T. That's their threat to America. You pick up your phone, you try to call me right now. And you get the arrogance of that employee of AT&T threatening your family. You call them on that. All AT&T employees, you call them up 24/7, 365. You try to call me with them on speakerphone. You tell them, I've got the date, I've got the time, I've got your bloody hands, I've got PhoneGate on video. Call them 24/7 when they just got home from that bar, when they've been doing the drugs, when they're having a fight with their girlfriends. They'll tell you what else they're doing to compromise the security of America and your family. Remember the post. Get me my disciples. I'm Melton, a son of a carpenter, married. Dad a carpenter, worked on skyscrapers, Mom Mary Ann. I'm a self-carpenter, I get to tell parables. I also get to tell you all about the Great Wall of Chinese Evil, doing stuff like this. I designed this, made the title, I'm joining one man working alone last month into one big parable. And they do this. Time and time again, they go in to do this. So I have to spend seconds, minutes fixing it, not only where I designed it, wrote the title properly to begin with, but elsewhere. Get me my disciples. Of course, I'm backing it up here, and the devil's people walking among us, being obvious as hell again and again. Get me my disciples. Let's get started building a better world.